So 19 years ago, right about now, Tammy was a mess. I weighed about 85 pounds, jaundice, liver was failing. I had had pancreatitis 3 times. I figure I probably had about a month to live. I was very functioning when I worked or when I drank. I worked all the time, 70, 80 hours a week. I remember sitting in Eric's office, and my best friend and another person were there. And I remember them saying, we need to call an ambulance right now. She's going to die. And the ambulance came out on a stretcher. I went, blood alcohol 0.399, IV'd me, and they gave me a yellow piece of paper that said, refrain from drinking alcohol. Be on your way. That was it. So I went to a friend's house who I knew had alcohol there because I could drink more. Went to work, ended up getting fired the next day. And my dad died at 34 years old from alcoholism. He drowned in our bathtub. My son was sitting in his room on this day, and I was looking out my window, and all I could imagine, it had nothing to do with me at that point, was my son finding me like I found my dad.
Wow.
And I couldn't do that to him.
Yeah.
And I got on the ground, and I cried, and I screamed, and I yelled, and I prayed. And I told God, I have got to do something. Yeah. You've got to help me.
Yeah, please.
And he had placed people in my life throughout years that helped me to get sober.
Hey guys, welcome back to Full Belly Podcast. We're here in our new set. I don't know if you can notice anything from the last episode, but things are changing every single time. We're really excited about it. I hope that whoever's watching this, hit us up. We have that request form to get on our show. So if this is something that you want to do, hopefully maybe that bobblehead of Juan that you see there in the front, that's brand new. Who knows? Maybe you could have a bobblehead too someday if you come on this show. So if you got something that you want to talk about, let us know, fill out the request form and come on the show. We would love, love, love to have you. So that being said, I would like to introduce our co-host, our lovely co-host, Juan Duarte, our president of the nonprofit division and my best friend and director of client services for our treatment programming. So Juan, hello, my friend.
Director of program development, but that's okay.
What did I say?
Client services. That's John. But that's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry. It's my bad, man.
Just had to drop that real quick. What's up, guys, man? I hope that you come on here and get one of these bobbleheads for yourself. And like Matt said, just keep filling out the forms. So we're really excited to have you guys here listening with us. And we have a very, very special guest on the podcast this week. And this is my good friend, Matt's good friend, and somebody that we care deeply about. Her name is Tammy Connors.
Hello.
Yes. Hello,
Tammy.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Tammy is such an amazing person. She's super embedded and passionate about living life, helping people, serving people, telling stories. She has her own podcast, and she just does a myriad of different things to live an aware, conscious life full of empowered choice. And we're super stoked to have her on here. Hopefully you guys see all the beauty and the love, which I'm positive you will. How you doing, Tam?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. I'm so good.
I'm so excited to be here. This is awesome. This is so awesome in here.
Yeah, well, we did it all for you, just so you know.
Appreciate that.
We never had anything like this. We did it specifically for you.
Great.
Over the last week, all this happened.
Perfect.
Well, some of it happened last week, but then most of it, Josh was here all night last night, actually getting it ready.
True.
So
Thanks,
it's
Josh.
just been a yeah. Thank you, Josh. We appreciate you.
It's awesome.
Tammy's, done 7 workouts so far today. It's only one o'clock.
It's only 1 o'clock. Yep.
She's done 7 workouts. So I'm
Thriving hard.
Thriving hard. Yes.
when I leave here, I'm just gonna go to the gym and probably stay there all night and
maybe catch up.
Try to feel good about myself. Yeah, I'm gonna try to feel good about myself because Tammy is just out racing all of us with everything that she does. She's just such a good person. Truly, I say all that jokingly, but also very seriously because she does a lot, man. Like you said,
So
embedded,
much.
very active, very vocal, very public with just like truly trying to promote hope and inspire people. So before we get too much into that, I want to go back into the main theme of what we talk about here at Full Belly Podcast is how do we fill ourselves up? How do we fill our mind? How do we fill our hearts? And how do we fill our actual bellies? Because I don't know about you guys, but food is one of the most amazing things. You know, it's not that we don't get to. I don't want to get high anymore. I don't want to do drugs. I don't want to do these other things, and not even substances, just like selfish things, you know, that used to make us feel good. Yeah. And so, but food is okay, you know, obviously, as long as we're not overindulging, because that is a very real thing too. And especially, I mean, gosh, it's everywhere around us, not healthy things.
Toledo's per capita the most.
It's all over. Drinks. I mean, all these drinks, all these food. It's a lot. There's a lot of it. So obviously it's okay to treat yourself and things like that. But what fills us up? I think that that's very important to talk about. Like, how do we get happiness or energy or nutrients or whatever it is from food? But also, how do we fill up our hearts and how do we fill up our minds? So that being said, which one, we're going to let you pick which one you'd like to talk about. Heart, mind, or belly?
Well, I'm going to talk about mind.
Okay.
Because that's, to me, very, very important, our mindset.
Yeah.
And how we start our day. That's really the most important thing to me, is how I get up every day and what I'm going to do to start my day before I even get out of bed. You know, you have your phone next to you. I'm sure everybody does. And most people grab their phone immediately.
Yes.
And then they're on social media and then news and this and that. And your whole day starts out just bad. So when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do, well, I take a supplement as soon as I wake up. And then I say a meditation prayer. And then I say 5 things at least that I'm grateful for. And that's how I start my day every day.
Before your feet hit the ground.
Before my feet hit the floor.
So do you say these things in your mind, or do you actually say them out loud?
It depends on the morning. Some days I say them out loud. Some days I just
Sometimes you're screaming them, huh?
Yeah, some days I'm screaming them. Yeah.
She's dancing in the bed.
That's right. Oh, you know me. That's what I'm doing.
Please go look at her Facebook and watch her get down. She boogies on Facebook. It's the best.
Yeah. So I do that first, and then I always I go to YouTube and I get notifications and I listen to something motivational every morning, and then I start my day.
Yeah. Speaking of something motivational, I went to your Facebook earlier today. I just want to read a couple of these quotes that Tammy put on here. It's talking about our minds, right? Because like everything I read, and I see your posts. Facebook, all these social media platforms, they know like what you're interested in, and they show you that shit. Like whatever you're watching, whoever you're clicking on, like that's who pops up, and you are one of the people that pops up on my page. Hope that's not creepy.
No, it's not creepy at all.
Okay,
it's good.
Okay, you pop up on my page.
Pop up on your page.
So here's one. It says, people will notice the change in your attitude towards them, but won't notice their behavior that made you change.
So good.
It's really good. That is fire. That's so good. It's so real. It's so true. You'll be amazed at what you attract into your life when you start believing in what you deserve. Come on now. Do not lower your standards to keep anyone. Make sure you make them meet you at your level. Self-respect is power.
Ooh, come on, man.
And this one is a good segue on into you for soul. I want to talk about your heart. Yeah. This one was, listen to your soul. It always knows when it's time to start a new chapter in your life.
Man, bro, that intuitive goodness, man, that soulful work, you know, the language without a tongue and no words. Yeah, the soul definitely knows.
Tell me about that. Tell me about that with you and with how you keep your soul, your heart growing and nourished and fulfilled. And I know you are very in tune with your soul, your heart, your spirit, right? And so like when you get these gut intuitions, is that something that drives you in a direction or in a thought process or in behaviors to change or to do?
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. It's important for me to first and foremost to identify that no decision comes without a process. And so as I'm feeling things, Tammy, you talked about it, meditation, spending time with myself. It's difficult for me to be able to understand and digest what I'm feeling as intuitiveness if I have too much noise going on or outside influence. So it's important for me to be able to sit with myself and understand, you know, how I feel, what I'm feeling, and for that not to be smothered by outside opinions or noise. And in the process, so I've learned for me to understand that my intuitiveness commands and demands me to make a choice for me to strengthen it. I have to be conscious, like, hey, my soul's telling me something. I'm going to have faith in this, and I'm going to move forward, even if I can't give it an explanation outwardly to anybody. This makes sense to me because I know it inside of my heart.
You know it, you trust it.
I trust it. It's not a believing. A believing is different than a knowing. You know,
how so?
Well, you know, I watched
a feeling thing, an intuition.
Well, no, I watched something and it made sense for me This guy said, do you believe you have parents? Do you believe you have a mom?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you know you have a mom?
I know I do.
You don't believe, because if you believe something, that implies that there's room for you don't know it.
Correct. Correct.
I believe in God. Do I know God?
No, I don't.
I believe something will happen when I die. Do I know?
Do I know that for sure? No.
No. And so it's important for me, though, to understand that I know my intuition. I don't just have belief in it. I have a knowing in it. And that knowing is a conscious choice of me empowering myself. It gives me authority and domain over who I am.
Yeah.
And for better or worse, I got to live and die with my choices, and I will die with the choice to lead from the heart.
You know what I know?
Tell me.
I know that if I believe,
Yeah.
that I'll believe in what I believe. If I believe in what I know,
Then you're knowing what you're
then I
believing.
know what I don't know, because I don't believe in what I don't know. And I know that you don't know that I believe in what you believe in. Because when I believe in what I know, then there's no way that you can possibly even believe what I know.
I know.
I know too. I believe you.
I know. I know you.
Do you believe me?
I know you believe me.
Tammy?
I believe you both.
Thank you.
And I know I do.
Thank you. And I know it. And I know it. Damn it.
Yeah. I know it. I know you do.
I know.
Food.
Whew.
Food is something that I think needs to be talked about more, because again, it is so, it's how we live. Like we have to eat things in order to stay alive. So when you think about addictions, I think that if you were to ask 100 people, name something that somebody is struggling with an addictive substance or something like that. I would say that out of those 100 people, probably I don't know, maybe even all 100 are going to be substances, right?
Yeah.
They're going to be alcohol, drugs, nicotine, something like that. Food is a very serious addiction out there. It's very serious. And I will say that I have continuously in almost 8 years of being clean and sober, I've struggled with food. I don't want to say struggled. I've had a serious problem.
Yeah. You intuitively know it's an issue.
I know, and I believe intuitively in my gut.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Right.
In my belly that I have it's just ingrained in my DNA, man. I don't care what it is. If you give me something that I like, man, I'm going to run with it.
I want more.
I want more. Even if I don't need more. And I'll catch myself, if my pants are fitting kind of tight or something like that, and I haven't been growing muscle, I'm like, okay, then why are my pants fitting kind of tight? It's not muscle. It's got to be something that's not very good. Yeah. What am I doing? Right. So I'm reflecting, self-reflection and all these things. What am I doing? Why is it so hard to put my shoes on? Why is it so hard to put my damn socks on?
Oh, I don't even want to talk about this right now.
Right. But this is real, and
it's real.
Getting older or whatever. And these things happen, but I know that my weight fluctuates a lot, right?
Yeah.
My weight goes up and down, and I'll catch it, and I'll work my ass off and, take care of it. But food is just something that it's everywhere we go, man.
And it's so
everywhere
good.
we go, and it's made to be convenient. And here's the thing: I don't want to get too crazy on a theory type level, but it's not illegal, right? And we know. Yeah. So think about this: if drug dealers knew that drugs became legal and they could put things in it to make it even more addictive and sell it on Sylvania and Talmadge and make a drive-through
cheeseburger.
I mean, they're going to make it as cheap as possible, and they're going to make it as fast and efficient as possible, as easily packageable as possible to get it in as many places as they possibly can, and they're going to make it as addictive as possible, right? And when we talk about getting it there to conserve it and preserve it and to ship it and all that stuff, they don't care about how good it is for you, man. It's a business. Yeah. The food industry is huge. Monster. So I don't know. I say all that to say that, I think about people in recovery from some sort of eating disorder, and there's so many of them.
For sure.
So many different forms of eating disorders, but struggling with food in general has got to be a hard thing because we have to have it, right? When I say I don't want to use alcohol anymore, I just cut alcohol out of my life.
Yeah.
Cut it out. No more. It's gone.
Yeah. Well, the consequences of food are much slower typically than drugs or something else. I can't necessarily create an unmanageability in my life like I can with heroin or crack or alcohol or something else like that. But the food factor though is I soothe, right? What an easy way to soothe. I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'll eat.
Yeah.
I'm sad. I won't even recognize it. I'll eat.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It works with my senses, right?
100%. Yeah. And well, my wife is Italian. So like, and that's her love language is to like feed me.
Yeah.
So, and oh my gosh, dude, like she's so good at everything when it comes to food. And I eat, dude, I just eat. I eat and it's so good. So good. Like, okay, I'm full. Like I'm full, but there's more on the plate.
I'm going to eat it.
And then there's another second course. Like I got to eat that.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I can't fucking move. My stomach is sticking out. I feel like I'm going to purge if I need to. Can you relate it all with food?
I can relate totally to food. One thing is when I eat gluten, what you just said, I go like 8 months pregnant, just like that. So then I can't have anything like that. And I'm like, oh, and right now I'm doing this competition. So my food is like limited.
Yeah.
But when you were talking about food being an addiction, Hershey's chocolate bar with almond is my downfall.
Crack.
Crack for sure. For like at least 3 weeks before January 1st, that's what I ate every day. 1, 2, sometimes 3. And they were right at work. Like I could just scan it. And then when I started this competition January 1st, I'm like, I have no choice but to not have Hershey's chocolate bars. Yeah. And it was tough. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it is. It's right there.
Right there.
It's just a buck or two, Oh my God.
And what's one going to hurt, right? Right.
I'll just have one.
Heard
that before.
Yeah, right.
I will fall asleep with a Hershey's in my mouth at midnight. I will wake up at 2:30 and stuff a Hershey's square in my mouth and wake up with it in my mouth like,
Oh my God. That's so good.
Am I alone?
No, you're not alone
not at all.
Okay.
I wake up. Dude, sometimes I used to sleep eat. That was a thing. I would sleep eat.
Yeah, that's fire.
And I don't know what it was, man. I wasn't on any meds. Like, I don't know if it was like, I think I was like a year or two clean. And I don't know if my brain was healing and still like dreaming about consuming something or what. But like I would wake up in the middle of the night with like wrappers all around me and shit. And I'd have like chocolate in my teeth and stuff. It would look like a crime scene, dude. Like what happened? It just reminded me of the old days of like waking up like hungover. Like how did I get here?
Right.
Like, seriously, what did I do? Did I do anything else in the middle of the night?
Dude, my mom caught me with mayonnaise one time in front of the fridge. She woke me up with a jar of mayonnaise.
Sounds terrible.
Eating mayonnaise, sleep eating. Embarrassing story. I shouldn't have told you about that.
Just a little much.
Horrible.
Oh my God.
She was like, what are you doing? I don't remember. And she woke me up and I'm like, what? What's going on? She was like, you're eating mayonnaise.
That's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
Yes.
That's absolutely disgusting.
It was great when I was sleeping. I'm sure of it.
Sure, it was amazing.
It wasn't mayonnaise in your dream.
You were probably dreaming it was whipped cream.
Yeah, it was something else. Oh my God.
So you have a podcast.
I do.
It's called Hope, right?
Yes.
So it's helping other people evolve.
Yes.
And I was fortunate enough to be the first person that you interviewed on this podcast. We did that at a local coffee shop at SIP.
Yep, we sure did.
Yep. And it was such a good experience. So you've been doing this for a little while yourself.
Yes.
So what drew you into doing that? And like, what do you feel like is driving your purpose, your mission, and just the whole creative process for you? Like what's that like for you?
So I started it actually March 9th, 2021. It was my 17-year sobriety date. And
17 years?
Man.
17 years, 2021.
In 21, so now you're 19 years.
It will be March 9th, yes.
Woo!
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. 19 years. Wow. It's 2 decades, man.
It's a long time.
It's a long time. That's so great. I love that. Are you kidding me?
19 years.
I'm not just like 20 years of changing your life for the better.
Man.
That's inspiration. We need like that kind of stuff needs to be out there. We talk about this all. I'm sorry to cut off.
No, you're okay.
We talk about this all the time. Like we need more women in leadership, in sponsorship, in just like in recovery. We need more of that because it's just so we can go into that too. I think it's very difficult. You look at an average census of a treatment center, it's mostly men.
It's true.
You know, and like there are reasons why I think that women stay out there longer and don't go to treatment and why men seek treatment more. But I wanted to say that I'm so happy about that.
Thank
that you, not just a human, a woman have been clean for almost 2 decades. That is so cool. That's inspiring It's incredibly inspiring, and people will watch this and be like, "That I can do that."
And especially the way she's living after 19 years, right?
Yeah, man.
Like people tend to like get like chill and
growing.
Like, I'm just sober. It's not, but you're continually
growing, living, loving life, dude.
Yes.
That's what it's about.
19 years in, acting like she just got sober last month.
Right.
You know? Got energy like a somebody that just got out of detox, like ready to live. You know, like
You're on a pink cloud, aren't you?
I am.
19-year pink cloud.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So I started with a blog, and I'm going to share a little bit of how it started, if that's okay.
Please do. Please.
And I was at an overdose awareness event that you held, Team Recovery held. It was in, is that August? That's overdose awareness, right? And you did it at a funeral home, and I hadn't met any of you except for you. And Nina was there, and she was talking about, she was going to share about her daughter the next day. And she said, who's going to talk about hope? And they said, Juan, because you were going to share your story. And I was like driving home, and I was like, hope. I love that word. And I was getting ready to start a blog. So this must have been in 2000, maybe 18, something like that.
Yeah,
17?
I think it was 17.
Okay. So gosh, time goes quick, doesn't it? And so I'm driving home, and I'm like helping other people, and I hear evolve, and I'm like helping other people, and I hear evolve, and I'm like, I'm not doing evolve. And God's like, yeah, you are. And so I pull in my driveway, and I call my friend. I'm like, I know what I'm going to call my blog. And she's like, what? I said, hope. And she's like, I can't wait for people to hear how you evolved. And I was like, well, there you go. That's it. So that's what I started it. And that was just my blog in 2017. Did it a little bit, played around with it. 2020 is when I was going to launch my podcast. I said, okay, that's it. 2020. Well, we all know what 2020 started with Kobe, Gianna. Valentine's Day, I lost my best friend, Josh, to, he took a Percocet, and it was fentanyl. So I lost him on Valentine's Day. And then we come into COVID, and I'm like, okay, I can't really start my podcast right now. My friend was shot and murdered in April. My mom passed away in August. So it was just a year for everybody. And I say this for the reason of not poor Tammy, but I always talk about there's no excuse for you to go back out and use.
That's right.
And that year was hell for everybody. And it was extremely hard for me. And I never had to go pick up again. And no matter what. And I never did. And then 2021 came, and I said, that's it. March 9th, I'm starting it. I have to. I did 3 episodes myself. And then in April, I interviewed Juan. And at first it was going to be about only addiction. And God was like, no, Tammy, there's so many other struggles out there. And people have gotten to so many strengths. And so I've interviewed some of the most amazing people. I don't know if you knew Don Caskey, the tattoo guy here from Toledo.
No.
Okay. He had kidney cancer. 2019, he was diagnosed, had a kidney removed, lost everything, house, everything. He started getting matched tattoos with people all around the United States, would FaceTime with people. He had 655 tattoos when he passed away a few weeks ago. Oh my God. My 1111 Make-A-Wish is our matching tattoo that we got. I was number 607. We did this in November.
Oh my gosh.
But
isn't that beautiful?
That's really cool.
He went out, if you go to his Facebook page, which you should, the lives that he changed, this man just from Toledo, Ohio, that got kidney cancer. He was at the
Don Caskey.
Don Caskey. He was at the Houston Texans game on New Year's Day. Mario Addison invited him there. They got matching tattoos. He won the 50-50 raffle, $26,000. He made a nonprofit out of what he had that pays for people that are terminally ill's life insurance, their funeral expenses. So he took what he had. And so it's just meeting people like that. And just showing people that there's always hope out there, you know, no matter what struggle you go through.
Did you get to interview him?
I did. I interviewed him right after Juan. I interviewed him right before the Angel Walk. I met him through Ross, because Ross and Jen have matching tattoos with him. And that's how I met him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's wild.
It makes me want to do that, but I don't have any room. I'd have to do some tattoos on my face.
On your toes.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. That's such a cool thing. Like, I don't know anybody else that's doing that. What a unique thing to do.
It was amazing.
Special person.
And he was a very special person. Very humble. I went and visited him at the hospital right before he passed. And I was like, do you need me to bring you a book or anything? He's like, just bring you. That's all I need.
Yeah.
And I was like, Don, you changed so many lives. He's like, so many lives changed me. And that's what...
Oh my God.
That's what it's about, right?
I just shook.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And so that's who I get to meet. I mean, it's just like
so many people changed.
You changed so many lives. No. Yeah. So many lives changed me.
And that's it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude.
So that's what my hope's all about. Just knowing that, we all go through struggles. 99% of the people in the world go through a struggle, right? But just to know that maybe I interviewed Jamie Dia, losing Jamie Dia, Officer Dia's wife.
Okay.
That was shot and killed.
Okay.
I interviewed her, and just knowing that she still gets up every day, and just maybe you're at home laying in bed today and you're like, I cannot get up because my struggle is so bad. But you tune into Hope and you hear Jamie's story. I have AJ's story, Don's story, Juan's story. And you get up that day and you can walk outside and said, oh my gosh, they did it. I can walk out today.
So if somebody wants to hear that, and I think that's beautiful. If somebody wants to hear that, how can they? Where can they find your podcast?
So it's on Apple, Spotify, Google. I have a YouTube channel. My Apple, Spotify is Hope. You have to put in the periods, H period, O period, P period, E period. And then my YouTube is the same as my TikTok and my Facebook and my Instagram. It's Tammy Lynn, 1N, Connors, CONNORS.
Okay, perfect. We'll put some information on that when we post this to our stuff. But I think that's amazing, and please go out there and listen to this, because she's got some really cool perspectives and ongoing. How often do you record?
It's so funny because sometimes it's like 3 in a week, and then the next. I'm not that structured. Yeah. No, not at all. I'm getting ready to have my 100th episode though, which will be awesome. March 9th next week.
That's incredible. 100 episodes. 100.
Yeah.
That is not easy to get to.
That's
a lot of work. We're at I think this is 28, 27 or 28.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing.
Yeah. 100 episodes. That's a lot of commitment.
It's been
and
great.
A lot of people, I think, a lot of people will start just like working out. Like, I'm going to work out for 5 days and I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And so same thing with podcasts, like it's a lot of work to do these things, a lot of time, and is it helping? Are people watching? I'm not getting the viewers I want to get, so I'm just going to shut it down. Like, no, she's still going.
Absolutely.
Episode 100.
Yeah.
I don't even, most people that start podcasts probably don't even get near that.
Right. And it just even having the conversation, right? The intentionality that happens here. Like, this is an intentional conversation. You and Don, it was an intentional time to discuss things of substance,
Yes.
And I think that hearing everything you said, first of all, like, wow, like that year was nuts.
It was tough.
For me, I heard that, and what immediately came to my mind was just recycle, repurpose. It's important, for me to find some kind of way to recycle my hardship, to leave a legacy for, especially loss. Like if I lose somebody that I love, like, how can I remember them? How can, it might be, I don't know, is that arrogant, egotistical? I don't think so. It feels good for me to say, you know what, I'm here and I want to say you affected my life and your life changed me. And this is why I do what I do, and it's really cool that you're living your life at a legacy of people. It's a legacy stories.
Yeah.
She's doing her thing.
I love it.
Just like it says on her shirt, Hope Dealer.
Hope Dealer. My truck has Hope.
You're a Jeep lady, right?
I am. Gladiator.
Right? Yep. Yeah, she's into the Jeep thing.
Yep.
It's a Jeep thing.
It's a Jeep thing.
Y'all wouldn't understand.
Get to the wave,
So let's talk about this fitness is like really important to you.
Yes.
Physical, I always see it. You're exercising, like I said, 7 times so far today. You got to leave here and go to another exercise class, and then you're going to dance to another exercise class.
Yeah.
Hot room, I see you there. You've been doing that. Just all kinds of strength. You do it all. You hit all the corners and try to stay as balanced as possible. And you're training for something.
I am.
Tell us about that.
So I actually was going to do this in 2020. I'm training for a bikini bodybuilding competition, which is, to me, is crazy because 2018 is when I started working out. Honestly, I did not like working out. When you said go to the gym 5 days, I'd go for 4 days and I'd hurt a little bit and I'd be like, there's no results. And then I quit. Well, then I decided that maybe I should give it a little time, like 8 weeks, 10 weeks. And then I started seeing some results. So started working out a little bit then. 2019, going to do this bodybuilding competition, and COVID hits. So there we go again, right? And I didn't think anything about it again. I ran into a girl that I think we were at Dexter's dancing, which just so everybody knows, yes, I still go dancing all the time. So I love to dance. It's like one of my favorite things to do. It's good for my soul.
Yeah.
I have sobriety parties like, yo, you're 20 years sober. Great. Let's go to the bar and dance. Okay.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah. You'll get there too, guys.
Right.
Yeah, you'll get there too. Okay. Not good for when you're a week clean.
Don't do it a week later. No, it took me years.
Stay clean. Really good things will happen.
Yes. Don't do that. I'm not advising that.
Dance anywhere you want to.
Right. So I met this girl and she was training for it. Well, she was training with my trainer. And I thought, you know what? I should do that again. So here I am. I think I'm like 28 days out, 27 days out from doing a 50 and older bikini bodybuilding competition.
Whoa. 50 and older. You're 32.
Yeah.
Oh, 32.
How did you get put into that
I don't
one?
know, man. My son turned 33 and he's like, Mom,
cheating you.
you really gotta.
They must have made a mistake
Up your
on that
age a little bit.
application. They put you in the wrong age bracket.
It's okay because then I can beat the 32-year-olds.
There you go. There you go. I love that attitude. Bring it on, young bucks.
That's right.
I'll take you to the cleaners.
That's right.
That's so
right.
cool. So you said what, 30 days away?
Oh, it's April 1st. So 28.
April Fool's Day.
Yeah, April Fool's Day.
And where is it at?
It is in Avon, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been training hard.
Are you nervous?
I am. I'm nervous about the heels. I'm a Chuck's girl. So the heels are like, I'm walking. I did 2 TikToks last night in my heels dancing, just trying to practice.
I've seen it. Yeah. Yeah. It was great.
That's amazing.
That's just who I am.
That's amazing. We wore heels one time.
We did wear heels, dude.
For a charity?
I forgot about that.
What was it? Heels for
something.
Heels for healing?
I think it was
out in Levis Common.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was like I don't know, like
an awareness type thing, and
half a mile race or something like that around Levis.
Yeah, we had to
in
walk
heels.
around in heels,
and then there was a stage, and we each had to dance on the stage.
I did a strip tease, I think.
I don't know. No, I don't think that happened. I don't think.
No, it didn't.
That might have been before or after the event.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know who you were with.
It didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't know where that thought came from. I didn't strip in heels.
Okay.
A family-friendly event.
Hey, no judgment, man. No judgment.
No
I
judgment.
wouldn't do that.
No
Never.
judgment.
I would
You do what makes you happy and
Man,
fills your
right.
heart.
Yo, my
You know
big
why?
orangutan feet.
Do you know how hard that was to find heels?
Dude.
That was
I was
so
thinking
hard.
that when you just said that, I was like, I wonder how they found heels.
I was looking for heels for like a solid, I don't know, month maybe? Like just because every day I would like go to a store. If I was in Perrysburg, I'd stop at like whatever. If I was in Maumee, like wherever, I'm like striking out, dude.
Yeah.
You guys got any men's 11 high heels? Like, no, we don't.
Yo, we got banger pictures from that day.
We do.
Too.
Yeah, we'll have to put some pictures up. That was fun.
You'll definitely
Yeah,
have to put
so
those up.
So you're going to be on a stage. Do you know how many people are competing?
Oh, I have no idea.
No clue.
You know what?
It doesn't
Honestly,
matter.
I don't. It doesn't
You're
matter.
not thinking about all those.
No, I'm not.
Those things.
And that was the thing my trainer said. He's like, don't look at other people. Just do you.
So you have a trainer for this?
I do.
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
So this is serious.
Yeah, this is serious.
So are you in like a, like I know a lot of people when they try to get like show ready, there's like a bulking phase and then there's like a cutting phase and then like pre-show, they're like starving themselves.
Well,
to
I
show all
think
the
there was
muscle.
probably a little bit of that, but I'm doing bikini, so it's not so much of that. It's more really your legs and your butt, honestly.
Okay,
I
understood.
told my son he didn't have to come.
Yeah. It gets
Chad,
weird.
I'm
Listen,
like, Chad,
son.
you can just stay home.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, thank you so much, Mom. So he's just he'll live stream it.
Mom, show me your legs.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to get it.
Yeah, Mom.
Yeah. Great. Great. He's like, yeah. When I told him he didn't have to go, he's like, thank you so much. I love you. I'm like, I love you too. That's why I told you don't have
Hey,
to
you know
come.
what? You're doing your thing though. That takes a lot of courage to get up
Man.
there.
I'm excited about it. You know, it's something to do and fun, and why not?
Well, exactly. How many people can say that they've competed in a show like that?
Right.
You know, like they got themselves to a point where they were comfortable stepping on a damn stage. I'm not there right now, dude. I couldn't do it.
No.
That's a big thing for me too. Like
Absolutely.
doing that, like walking across that stage and being comfortable doing it. And if you had talked to me even 3 years ago, that was not happening.
But you're comfortable with it.
I am
You're
so
confident.
comfortable with it. I'm confident
you
with
love
it.
yourself.
Yes.
Like your shoes say. What does it say? Love.
They
does it
say
say?
love
fearlessly.
fearlessly. And then
Hey,
here it says
what?
love yourself first. So I see that if, you know,
Come on, man.
if you're having a day, you look down at your shoe and you're like, yeah, love yourself first.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Just in case, you know.
exuding.
I mean, I have tattoos all over my body, all affirmations.
Yeah.
They're all affirmations.
just a positive human being. Positive.
Yes.
You're just a positive human being.
I am.
So tell us about like your journey. I know you said 19 years.
19 years. Can I tell you real quick about the bathing suit color I chose though?
Oh, yes.
So I put a thing on Facebook the other day, like 5 different colors, but I was going to go with blue. And then Deb McPherson, I think it was, says you got to go with purple. And I thought about it. I was like, man, I do got to go with purple. Overdose awareness, purple, right? Mm-hmm. That's the ribbon. My friend that was murdered in 2020, domestic violence is purple. Mm-hmm. Her favorite color was purple. The following Saturday, I get to be blessed and I'm going to California, and her son, I'll get a little emotional here, is getting married. That was her oldest son. The daughters were 8 and 10 at the time. He has custody of the daughters. He's getting married on April 8th, and I'm officiating the wedding. So I was like, bumps again. Purple is the color. So I'm doing that just in honor of my friends that I've lost to overdose, to people that I know that have lost their children to overdose or siblings and all that. And then also for domestic violence awareness. Too. So that's what my purple bathing suit. So anybody that sees me, that's what it's going to be. And that's my reason for the purple.
Intentional with it.
Yeah.
Just conscious, intentional living.
100%.
Will you be sure to get us some of those photos and everything?
Everybody's going to see it.
Yeah. Okay, good. We want to share that because that's cool.
Yeah.
It just doesn't get any cooler. And again, like even the meaning behind why.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, man. Come on.
Yeah. So yeah.
Did you say that you're officiating a wedding?
I am.
Are you
I got ordained a couple years ago.
I mean, like, is there anything that you don't do? Like, right? What is happening right now?
Bodybuilding, podcasting, officiating. What is that?
Travels the world, all over the place.
Dance instructor,
and is a wedding officiant.
Yes.
What is is that through like the?
So what happened was my son has a half sister and a half brother. His half sister was getting married in 2021, and her mom said, Kelly said, hey, does anybody know anybody ordained? And I was joking and said, oh, I could do that. And Heather said, oh, would you please? Because I've been like her bonus mom since she was 2.5. And I was like, sure. So I went and got ordained, and I did their wedding. And then I did another friend's wedding. And then so this couple sent me
just marries people.
Save the date.
A couple days out of the month.
Right? Why not? Fly out to California, go marry people. But they sent me the thing that said, "Would you please officiate our wedding?" And when I talk about cried, I was so honored that I called Chad, my son, and he was like, I didn't know if somebody died or you were happy. And I was that like, emotional. It was just like, yeah. And so I called them. I FaceTimed, and the girls who are now 12 and 10. They were like, we are so excited because now we know you're going to be here for us. And I just, it's just a great feeling. And to be able to be that person.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Well, and so that's a perfect segue into 19 years ago. Nobody was asking you to officiate a damn wedding.
No.
Nobody was asking you to do anything.
Not so much.
And you've, oh my gosh, worked hard to change so that people invite you in and want you into their lives. Like I think about things like that all the time. God, what did, Monica called me the other day, just out of nowhere, and she's as pregnant can be. So like very hormonal and emotional about stuff. And she called, and she was just like, she was watching something or heard something about somebody passing away, and she called crying, and I was like, "What's wrong? Is everything okay?" It scared the shit out of me, you know. And she's like, "I just, someone died, and I was just thinking about the fact that someday, we're gonna have to say goodbye to each other. You know, I don't that could be 50 years from now, right? But at some point, we're gonna have to. And I was, okay, I love you, babe. It's all good. Everything's good. Yeah, boom, boom, boom. But I hung up, and I just really thought about that. She loves me, man. I have a wife that is crying, thinking about me leaving her possibly in 50 years. We affect people. People love us when we get clean and we change. And my God, what a blessing that somebody wants you to come across the country and officiate their wedding. That's how much you mean to them. Yeah. What was it like 19 years ago? Who was Tammy 19 years ago?
That's good. Let's hear that.
So 19 years ago, right about now, Tammy was a mess. I weighed about 85 pounds. Jaundice. Liver was failing. I had pancreatitis 3 times. Pretty much I figure I probably had about a month to live if I wouldn't have quit when I did. I'll share a little bit about my last few days, if that's all right.
Please.
So I worked at Sidelines
Mm-hmm.
in Lambertville. It was the only one open at the time. I was very functioning when I worked or when I drank. I worked all the time, 70, 80 hours a week. It's kind of funny because I didn't think Chad knew that I was an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, just not too long ago, he pointed out, like, you really believe that? And I'm like, yeah, because I was at work all the time. He's like, oh, Mom. I was like, oh, okay, let's face the real life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, I was at work, drank during the day when I was a manager there. I got off work, went downstairs in the basement with everybody else and drank. And I remember sitting in Eric's office, and my best friend and another person were there. And I remember them saying, it's so weird that I can remember this. We need to call an ambulance right now. She's going to die.
Wow.
And the ambulance came. Out on a stretcher I went. That's in Lambertville. Chad went to Whiteford. I grew up in Bedford, so everybody knew me. So now the next day, everybody's asking, Chad, why'd your mom get wheeled out of Sidelines? All of that. At the hospital, blood alcohol 0.399.
Wow.
Pretty much IV'd me, and they gave me a yellow piece of paper that said, refrain from drinking alcohol. Be on your way. That was it. Like, not you have a problem, not your eyes are yellow. You had that, how alcoholics have that yellow, your eyes yellow, and then you have that reddish film over them, kind of. Yeah, that's my eyes. Cheeks were sunk, just very, very sick. Well, of course I'm going to drink the next day because I'm an alcoholic, right? You're just going to give me a piece of paper and say, don't drink.
Yeah, thanks.
So when I say that this was God, the universe, whatever everybody believes, I know God, and I believe God. I believe I know him.
Yeah, there it is.
And so anyways, I went to a friend's house who I knew had alcohol there because I could drink more. So I was waitressing that day at 4. And I know that day I went to that house to continue to drink. So I would get fired that day. So the next day I would quit drinking. I went to work completely. I mean, mind you, 0.399 the night before, and I didn't stop. So imagine what my blood alcohol was, at least 0.399.
Wow.
Went to work, was a complete excuse my language, shit show. Ended up getting fired the next day, which would have been March 9th. Called Eric, Jerry, Chris, all of them, begging them for my job. And they're like, Tammy, we just can't. We just can't. And my dad died at 34 years old from alcoholism. He drowned in our bathtub. My son was sitting in his room on this day, and I was looking out my window, and all I could imagine, it had nothing to do with me at that point, was my son finding me like I found my dad.
Wow.
And I couldn't do that to him.
Yeah.
And I got on the ground and I cried and I screamed and I yelled and I prayed and I told God, I have got to do something, or you've got to help me.
Yeah, please.
And he had placed people in my life throughout years that helped me get through to get sober.
What did it start with that day? I mean, what was the next step? Did you just stop? Did you have to go to a treatment center?
No, I stopped. I just stopped. I just stopped.
Good for you.
Wow. No, I was that girl that was puking yellow bile every day. I was shaking. I was doing shots of Listerine sometimes just to get me to the store for my vodka. Little 10, those little bottles of vodka. I had at least 10 in my car at a time. It was always like,
that was day to day, every day
day to day, every day drinking for 7 years.
Stopped.
I just stopped.
And what was the withdrawal?
Well, I feel like I was already withdrawing. Every day I was puking yellow bile and so sick that I think it all just, I hallucinated a little bit. I remember.
That you did that on your own?
I did on my own.
Lucky you're alive. You're just lucky you're alive.
I talked to a lot of doctors and nurses.
That's a miracle.
Yeah, it is a miracle. It really is.
I think it's just safe to say that Tammy is a living, breathing, walking miracle.
Yeah.
That exudes hope and strength and energy and love and positivity. You're lucky to be here.
I'm so lucky to be here. And I know that God had a purpose for me to be here.
Man,
100%.
And I need to live my purpose out. And that's to let other people know that you can live life. You can still be happy. You don't have to have drugs and alcohol to get through that. And you can get through anything. My son passed away at 6 months old. I lost my bonus son in a car accident in 2012. I've lost a lot of close people, but every day I can get up and I can make it the best day I can and try to help somebody else have a great day.
Yeah, because you're here. Because
I'm here. And I can relate to a lot of things.
Yeah.
Well, Tammy, thank you so much, seriously, for coming on here, sharing with us. I mean, I hear, I don't know if we've ever had a better example of a complete 180 of long-term recovery, a strong woman in recovery in our area that, was literally about to die. Everybody else knew it. Maybe she didn't know it, but, and actually a living, breathing miracle of, detoxing at home.
It's crazy.
And being able to get through it. And here we are 19 years later, going from knocking on death's door to dancing around in life and literally getting on stages to perform, exercising multiple times a day, eating healthy, loving people, having a podcast of our own, and just being an advocate, a public, open, honest advocate for people to watch. And so I love that. We need more Tammys in the world. So
Truly.
thank you. Seriously.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so we have our sponsor actually for this is well, you know who our sponsor is.
No, I don't,
because
you told me you were going to tell me who my sponsor was, but you didn't.
I was trying to read it on the screen there, but it didn't pop up. Our sponsor, let me see who that is. Well, first of all, I think that it's important that we
oh, I remember you did tell me.
You know what, dude? I don't want to, we're not doing this. I don't want to deal with your BS right now. I want to talk to our guests. Okay.
Okay.
How selfish of you.
I'm sorry.
This is not about you, Juan. We're talking about what people can do to call us if they need help. We really, really need you guys to share this, first of all, because Tammy has a very important message to share. Okay. I need you to share this. People need to hear this message.
Absolutely.
This is powerful. So when you watch this, I don't care what platform you're watching this on, please share it. And please follow Tammy on her platforms too, so that you can listen to her. Support our channel, following all of our social channels. You'll find a link tree. It's got all of our social channels in there. So please follow us on any platform that we have, because we post a lot of different content out there. And our goal right now is to reach 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're working really, really hard to get there. I know that we're going to get there. Please help us by sharing. And more than anything else, we have our hotline, 419-561-LIFE. If you're struggling, call us. Our goal is to find help for you or some sort of resource. It doesn't matter if it's with us or if it's somewhere else. It could be anywhere. I don't care where it is. We want to find help for you. We have a really, really good history in this area for finding out, what you need, and we'll try to get you in that direction. But we do need to go into the sponsorship now, and we can go back to you, Juan. Okay. So now we can talk to you.
Yes.
Okay.
God. And we can be selfish now.
Unbelievable.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
Unbelievable.
it.
Our sponsor for this episode is actually Gordon's
Bodybuilding
and Water Company.
Uh-huh.
So it's a division under Gordon Food.
Yeah. Yep.
They have a whole energy line and a whole Fit Fuel is what they call it. Gordon's Fit Fuel energy line. And that's why the Gordon's water is right there too on the table. So, but Gordon's is sponsoring the bikini contest, and they've got they got 1-piece bikinis, they got 2-piece bikinis, they got 3-piece bikinis. I don't know if you've ever seen those.
No,
they do have those. They have the masked, the bikini with the mask. Yeah, they have the heel 6-inch. Category. They've got the heeled 2-inch category, and then they've got the blindfolded category, and then they also have the, what do they call them? The plastic shoes that you just slide your foot into. What are those called? Crocs. They got the Croc category too. So the bikini with Crocs is going to be hot. I'm very excited to see that category. So give a shout out to our sponsor, man. They're doing all kinds of cool tests. Let our followers know what they can expect if they get there, how they can get there, where to reach out, and what they're gonna expect, how much it costs. Yeah, man. All of it. For sure. Generous sponsors. Well, Gordon's Fit Fuel.
If you would shut up for 1 second, let me do my job.
My bad.
And quit being selfish, because first and foremost, I know Uncle Gordon, and I also am familiar with Aunt Tammy, who are the generous founders of Gordon's Fit Fuel. This is a lifestyle hack for everybody out there. You need to get online right now. I'm going to introduce the website first, so you can follow it now. It's slip me with 3 W's, slip me with 2 W's, .net, go, whoa. Now, first and foremost, this is the bad and bougie bodybuilding experience for women in Crocs and people taking it bound and down to the docks. We got Tammy Connors presenting with you a 3-piece bikini. She has patches on her knees, patches on her belly, and patches on her neck, and everything else is open for discussion. And she's going to be working really hard after 29 years of staying sober minus 10, which leaves you at the grand number at 19. So what I want you to think about right here, right now, do you want to be in the 50 plus when you're 50 plus, but you're really 32, living life day to day by the do like Tammy do? Then you need to get hip to Gordon's Fit Fuel goodness right here, right now, today. Like I said, slip it, W 3 times, slip it, W 2 times, .net. Call us as soon as you can when you know that you need what we got. I'm talking knowing, not believing, and believing ain't seeing. Call us at 444B-321C. Me, Juan. And you'll get a promo code of ABC. Juan does it good in the Bad and Bougie Body Build. You're going to enter that right here, right now. Thank you guys. Uncle Gordon, Aunt Jackie, Aunt Susan, thanks for showing up with Fit Fuel. Yeah.